We arrived in the Ukraine knowing full well that it had been one of the great epicenters of 20th century horrors. A killing field from which Hesse's Jewish family had escaped only because they had emigrated to the United States in time. What we didn't and couldn't know was that 6 years after our visit, the Ukraine would be in a struggle against heavily armed separatists, aggressively supported by Russia. In retrospect, beginning with a cab driver who picked us up at the Odessa airport, who said he considered himself a Russian and not a Ukrainian, there were perhaps signs of trouble ahead. Yesterday was a good and interesting day, although we almost got lost on Arcadia Beach. In part 2 of our Ukrainian adventure, we'll see more of Odessa and board the MS Marshall Koshevoy that will take us on a cruise of the Dnieper River from Yalta to Kiev. Once again, we don't know where we're going, but it's a bright and beautiful morning, and we don't have to board the ship until this afternoon. This nice-looking park, we soon find out, is the well-maintained grounds of an old sailor's home. He compliments his groundskeeper, and in spite of the language barrier, they manage to converse briefly about their shared love of gardening.
Please ask for directions.
Seems we've stumbled upon an upscale shopping mall. That brand new 2008 Rolls Royce still looks good. We're heading back now to our hotel to check out. It's getting to be late afternoon by the time we reach the Marshall Koshevoy and check in. Considering the fact that space is tight, the accommodations aren't bad, except we notice that our room stinks. We'll find out later that none of the toilets have been designed with odor-reducing traps. The ship will remain at anchor tonight. Tomorrow we'll have another day of sightseeing in Odessa. We'll have dinner aboard the ship tonight, in the so-called North American dining room. Everyone else will be served at the same time in the other, larger dining room. An odd arrangement, to be sure. A baby carriage rolled down these steps in a famous scene in Sergei Eisenstein's highly regarded silent film from 1925, The Battleship Potemkin, which is why they are popularly called the Potemkin Steps. We've ascended to the top and our tour is about to begin.
Wir haben ihn vorne. Sieben Minuten. Auch kein Stunde. Nee, ich habe ja
to go along this way to the city hall, to the building of the city hall. You will see there the monument to Pushkin and city hall. And that is the main favorite place. Yes.
Oh, that's where you take it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Isidora Danka. She's singing. When they went to America, they passed through Odessa, they stayed here for 1 week.
Between 1818 and 1861, Francisco Carlo Baffo designed more than 30 buildings in Odessa.
Archaeological museum is the oldest in our city, in our country too. Only the gentlemen.
Left here.
It is this hotel, Mozart Hotel, bought it, and the apartments of the hotel will be there. Theater and even the Greek market. You can find the elements of Greek architecture in the buildings, like to the right, for example. And in our city, very many streets were named after nationalities, because 130 nationalities nowadays. Odessa, from very beginning of its existence, was multinational city. Customs control, passport control, as with every country. But when it was the big Soviet Empire, Soviet Union, we had no any bordering lines between 15 republics. Nowadays we have this. And at that time the unit of currency was the same everywhere. It was ruble. And the ticket from Odessa to Moscow costed 23 rubles. It was nothing.
Wow.
By train, by air, it costed 27 rubles.
Wow.
At that time, it was not the problem to visit any part of that huge empire. But nowadays, we have big problems.
Sorry to interrupt our informative guide, I really am, but we have reached our destination. The obelisk up ahead is a monument to the sailors of the Black Sea Fleet who died during the siege of Odessa in 1941. A lot of these cadets are taking this pretty seriously, but now we're going to see a few guys acting like, well, goofy teenagers. And maybe that's the way it has to be. Life goes on, and one day even this struggle will be legend or forgotten.
Nationality, we can say, yes.
And now we'll be reboarding the bus and given a ride back into town. Odessa, one of the guys from our ship, is waiting for everybody to board so she can get a head count. While we're waiting, this might be a good time for me to tell you briefly about the very contentious campaign for president of the Ukraine, which was the hot topic at the time of our visit. Odessa said that she was for Viktor Yanukovych, whom she called the criminal. She said that she was for him only because, like him, she considered herself an ethnic Russian.
What is Tomás? Tomás.
Is this somebody's? Like history, but besides, they study Hebrew and Jewish tradition.
Before World War II, Odessa, being a relatively open city and historically beyond the pale, had about 200,000 Jewish residents, about one-third of the entire population of the city. The Jewish population today is estimated at between 30 to 50,000, which includes a small in-migration.
The sign says, would you like me to read it? Detachment. And later, the army of Israel was based on those Beitar. And one of the main attractions were the pictures of great Chagall.
We haven't gone far at all. Our bus has dropped us off within walking distance of one of the very few remaining synagogues in Odessa.
It was built on the base of the previous old synagogue. It was Taylor's synagogue. They consider it to be small, so they are going to enlarge it.
We'll now be entering the synagogue where we'll find some leaders of the congregation waiting to welcome us. We'll find a small, enthusiastic group, middle-aged and young people and their families. We're trying to breathe new life into this synagogue. It's been a nice visit, but Essie and I leave still wondering why Jews, particularly observant ones, would want to live in Odessa.
So now we can get off for no more than 5 minutes, okay, to take your pictures.
Our last stop is at an apparently well-cared-for Jewish cemetery and to see a monument to Holocaust victims.
Time.